Good morning. It is August the 23rd, and here's your AEW All In 2024 from Wimbley. A little preview and predictions. Got 10 matches, and we're going to do it in 10 minutes. So, got to get started. Okay, let's get right into these predictions and previewing this. There's 10 matches, including one on the 0 hour, 9 on the main card, and there may be something added on. But we'll wait and see. But what we got so far during the pre-show, we got Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway against Willow and Ishii. And the winner gets to pick a stipulation. Looks like they're going to have a rematch in 2 weeks at All Out. I think Willow and Ishii will win this one. Stokely is there to take the pin, and then she'll say she's tired of Statlander, and they'll have some kind of no DQ, lights out, something kind of plunder brawl. And, the women in AEW do really good at those hardcore matches, so I think that's where we're going with that. And these other matches, I got them listed, but we don't really know what the order they'll be except for the main event. So let's go first. Let me look at my paper. Toni Storm and Mariah May for the Women's World Championship. I'm going to go with Mariah May on this one. I think they're going to put the belt on her and let her have a run with it. So I think she will pull out the victory with this one. MJF and Ospreay. I love what MJF, the character, is doing with this American Championship, and I wish it would went a little bit longer, but I can't see him not putting the belt back on Ospreay in front of the Wembley crowd. They may surprise us, but I think we're still going to get a trilogy out of this. So we'll probably get this match and then maybe another one at All Out or the next pay-per-view after that. But I think this feud's going to go on for a little bit. Jack Perry and Darby Allin in the coffin match. I reported yesterday in the news that there was some reports from Dave Meltzer backstage that they were wanting to strap up Darby with the world title. But this being a coffin match, and then the reports that Sting may be in London, is Sting going to show up? Is Sting going to be in the coffin? And, Jack Perry opened it up. But I think Darby is going to win the TNT title, and then maybe they're going to do plans for the World Championship later on down the road. Or maybe this is a way that if they do put the belt on Darby in the next couple of pay-per-views or next, maybe at the Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe, that if they did that, then Darby could drop the TNT title, and then they do a tournament for it. Tony Khan loves his tournaments, and that could get some more wrestlers involved in it. Or if it was me, I would, at this time, unify some of these belts. So let's just unify the TNT belt and go on. But I doubt Tony will ever do that. But I think I'm going to go with Darby. Mercedes and Britt. I don't think this feud is over. I think they've got a couple more matches in them, so I'm thinking Mercedes is going to win, but there'll probably be a beatdown after the match where they're trying to beat down Britt Baker, and then we'll see Jamie Hayter probably be back if she's cleared, get her a Wembley moment, a big Wembley pop, and then her and Britt can do a tag match against Mercedes and Camille. And then Camille and Jamie Hayter can have some matches, and then Britt and Mercedes another match, and eventually Britt will win this title. But I don't think it'll be at Wembley. The Casino Gauntlet, we don't know all the people. We know Mark Briscoe said him and Kyle O'Reilly was going to be in it. We know Orange Cassidy's going to be the number one person coming out. Hangman's in it. If you watch Dynamite, Evil Uno said he was in it. But the thing about this is, and again, I did an episode talking about the Casino Gauntlet match where I love it, is the first one there was only 8, the second one there's only 9. So they say there's like 18 people, but it can end at any time. So we are not going to see 18. We'll probably see 9 or 10 like we did before. And this one, I narrowed down to, since I don't know who's going to be in it, but I think there's two obvious choices. One, if Swerve retains, then Hangman Page will win it so that he can face Swerve at All Out. If Swerve loses, then I can't see Hangman winning it, but him and Swerve will probably still have a match at All Out. If Danielson wins the title, I could see them going with Orange Cassidy to win this. Let him be number one, go all the way through, whether how many they have, he wins it. And then maybe if Danielson wins and says he's got a couple more matches in him, that might be something good that we haven't seen, Danielson and Orange Cassidy, even if it was on a Dynamite main event or something. But I think that would be an interesting matchup and might be a good match. So I'm leaning towards them too. This one is really hard to call, but I could see either Orange or Hangman winning. We got Chris Jericho and Hook. I think Hook's going to get the FTW belt back. Then we'll see where that goes from there. The Learning Tree, I love Big Bill and the Bad Apple, Brian Keith, and I'm hoping they do get something out of this, but Jericho doesn't need a belt on him, and, it's time for him to take a little break. He doesn't have to retire, but he at least needs to take a little break for a while. We got the Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaimed. I really haven't liked this, I'll be honest with you. I was wanting the Bucks and FTR to go a while before we saw them again. I can understand the Acclaimed, but this whole thing with the Acclaimed and FTR, because you guys know if you've watched anything that I love FTR, but, who's the babyface? And that's what the Bucks need right now is a legit babyface tag team to be going against them. So I'm looking for the Bucks to retain here. And then I don't know how they'll go in the direction. I'm still waiting for FTR to turn heel again, but with the Bucks, I don't know if it's, the time. Also, I think we may see a breakup between the Acclaimed eventually, and see what kind of singles run either one of them get out of it. So just waiting on that. But I think the Bucks are going to retain on this one. Then you got the ladders match for the Trios belt, the Patriarchy, the Bang Bang Gang, House of Black, and then spoiler alert from Collision, which was already taped, you've got the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio and Yuta, and Pac. He's going to be with them. So I'm glad Pac is getting his Wembley moment since he didn't last year, and then it looks like he's going to get an international title shot at All Out. And that's another reason I think Ospreay's going to win, because I think people are wanting to see Ospreay and Pac, and that would be a great match at All Out. So this one, I think House of Black are going to retain going to win the Trios title and get those back for another run at it. And now they're more baby faces, as far as, the crowds have loved them, and, the Patriarchy being good heels can make that happen. So I think the House of Black, and we'll see a Trios run with them as more of a baby face. I mean, crowds were already cheering them, but they weren't acting like baby faces. So maybe this way they can. The Patriarchy, I think the reason they're going to lose is I think we're finally going to get the payoff of Killswitch, a.k.a. Luchasaurus, turning on Christian Cage. Christian will blame him for them losing the titles, and that will be the turn that we'll get. Danielson, Swerve. This is the hardest one to call because I can see it either way. I mean, Swerve, they could legitimize him as champion. Danielson is so, selfless that he doesn't mind to get pinned. And I could see him wanting to put Swerve over, and, if these nagging injuries, and then he may have to have neck surgery and all that. And this may be his final way to say, hey, I'm done. And I got a Wembley moment, in the main event, and I'm ready to go out, So I could see that. And then I could see Danielson, Tony Khan insisting, hey, take the belt. Can you wrestle one or two more pay-per-views after that? Then him dropping it to someone else, maybe Swerve again or Darby Allin or somebody like that. So this one is really, really hard to call. So being the main event and not wanting to send the fans home angry because, Swerve is going to play situational heel, I say Danielson. I'm just going to go with Danielson, and I could miss that. And to be honest, I could miss a lot of these. This pay-per-view is one of the harder ones where there's so many matches that it's hard to predict. The only couple that I would bet 100% on would be Mariah May and Hook. But the rest of them I could see going either way in different ways, even Statlander and Stokely, in the 0 hour, they might win. And in that way, Statlander picks the stipulation, but this is a really hard pay-per-view to call, but I enjoy that. I'm glad that it's one of those, and that is the thing about AEW pay-per-views. A lot of them, some of the matches are hard to call, and it's not just, who the winner is going to be. So really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a great card, a great show. And, thank you people in the UK for being ahead of us in the time zone so that we can watch this on an afternoon and I don't have to stay up late Sunday night and watch it and then dread getting up to work on Monday morning. So let me know in the comments what your predictions are, and then maybe next week I'll tell you how I did. All right, until next time, don't make mistakes. Trust as takes.